Over the past 20 plus years, I've often said that my best stories have some sort of dream influence. It's something I've always asked other writers about because I love trying to capture a dream as well as the emotional response in words. That way in which we accept the truth of a dream when we're in it, that instead of rejecting what you're seeing as impossible, you have to try and deal with it. I haven't had an honest-to-God nightmare in years, though. And the reason I lament that is because my nightmares, the ones I'm referring to, are surreal, kind of fantastic situations. I don't consider dreams about, trauma to be nightmares in that sense. I used to have a lot of dreams about school and work speaking of trauma. The usual tropes, you're late for class, you can't find your work credentials, locker comm, your logins have vanished from memory. I eventually processed out that clutter, but over the last several years and the course of my writer's block, I all but stopped dreaming, or recalling dreams anyway. I think losing dreams was a consequence of isolating and withdrawing from people, both in real life and online. Not to mention just sort of generally just losing interest in anything, books, games, any kind of media, and drinking. Now that I've recently overcome the block, dreams are back. However, I'm still in the slow process of kind of reintegrating with things in my life that I've been missing. The stimuli I was absorbing during the dreamless period was all brain rot crap and miserable news. I can see that now looking back and kind of understanding what we know now about the science of brain rot and how it messes up your attention span. I'm finally realizing this is probably the biggest factor in my reader's block. So as a consequence of all the booze and the brain rot, my dreams now have follow a new repetitive scenario. Instead of trying to decipher a jumbled class schedule or quitting my government job over and over again, the scenario now is always about being in some hotel/convention center. I guess this is since of my limited excursions over the last decade. That's all it's been, conventions. The dreams have some commonalities between them, like the layout of the hotel and the ability to fly around like I'm no-clipping. There have been some horror-ish elements, but it feels more like a video game than a nightmare. I'm always trying to get away from someone, or I'm looking for someone, but it's always pretty vague. The last thing some people would do is complain about missing nightmares, but the ones I used to have were really unique and vivid. And I suppose it's the lack of intake of substantive media and new experiences that's got me kind of in this Groundhog Day situation, or Groundhog Night. As much as I hate going out into the world as it is, I know that's what I need, in small amounts at least, for my mental health and my creativity. So, thinking I know all this now, what am I doing? I quit drinking, which I've always promised myself I would do if I could get medicinal cannabis. I definitely fit the traditional definition of alcoholic. It's hard for me to think of it that way, simply because it was really easy to stop. And my cannabis use has been moderate. It hasn't replaced it in terms of just binging. I stopped playing stupid freemium games and looping comfort videos on my phone most of the time. I'm also going out and engaging with people just a little, but it's more than nothing, and even though I can be really uncomfortable, I'm still glad I did it. On the reader's block front, I'm listening to audiobooks while I work on menial tasks. And by the way, I'll link this in the description. I have a playlist here of shorts that I wrote that either I or someone else performed. It's called Audio Anthology. I'll link that. I want to break out of this hotel dream cycle, or at least have it evolve kind of like the work and school stuff did. There was an ongoing narrative that eventually came to an end. My last school dream years and years ago was I had one dream where I graduated and gone to college, and then I dropped out, and then it was over. I think that represented progression through a state of arrested development. Now I find myself in a new one. and it's reflected in these hotel dreams. So I guess I have to decode that one, figure out how to influence the dreams. While I don't believe in any universal dream language or those dream dictionaries, I do think a dreamer's own interpretation of their dream always says a lot. So here we go with my attempt at dream programming.